Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. All right, so we will be starting off here with the daily time frame, and then we'll take a look towards the end of the video at what is going on with the Mr. Bitcoin. Pretty crazy what's going on over there. All right, so as you can see, QQQ is it gapped down underneath support. And now we're testing that previous support as resistance. So we're going to have to see what happens here. Are we going to reject from here, or are we going to get back above, reclaim this level, and start heading back up to the next level, which is all the way up at 363.41. If we cannot do so, then the next level that we will be paying attention to is all the way down here at 348.82. Now we do have a similar picture over here with SPY, except you're not testing previous support just yet. What we do have going on is you are kind of still in no man's land. As we pointed out yesterday, we did say it was likely that we start heading towards this 431.50 level, which is right over here. I do think it's very likely that buyers step in down there, but I will point out right now, what I will not be surprised to see is either we get a rally up to here and come down to here, and then that would put our daily RSI in oversold territory, or we get a rally all the way up here to backtest 443, 442 to 443, that zone right around there. I would not be surprised to see a rather strong rally getting on up there, considering how oversold things are. We will take a look throughout this video at how oversold things are, going off of some indicator, the RSI indicator. But I am also going to point out, you've now pulled back 6% here. Do you not think you're going to have any, pullback along this move down? I think it's very likely we do. And we did point out in yesterday's video that it's very likely that we will be seeing it doesn't have to be a major low, all right, but it likely is putting in a temporary bottom over the next few trading sessions. Now, does that allow us to come back up to the highs of the year, or does it just allow us to come back up for a lower high, and then we come down and we break that, and then boom, we continue a larger scale downtrend on this weekly time frame? I have absolutely no idea. What I do know is, as you see, as we were pointing out yesterday, you now have the daily RSI almost down to 30. Earlier today, it did actually reach all the way down there at 32, but we did see this bounce, and that is getting back up there. QQQ, you can also see the RSI is down at 34, and just like I just pointed out on SPY, when we were all the way down here, this RSI was between 32 and 33. So I am just going to say, I do think downside is very limited. If we do see further downside, I think it probably would end with us coming down here 348.82 and then getting a very strong bounce from there, considering we have not had any retracement. If we start retracing from here, then we'll be watching this golden pocket, which is all the way up at 373 to 378, which, if we just do a little bit of this, that is a ways away, guys. That is a $15 to $20 move. I'm not saying that is going to be the case, but if we are just going to straight up have a longer term downtrend start on the weekly time frame, then that is very likely something that is completely on the table. Same as SPY. Let's put on a Fibonacci retracement. Let's just say today was our bottom, but just because I don't think this is the bottom, I think we are going to go down to 431.50. Now that we got so close to it, I think it's very likely that we see a move up, and then boom, we come down. That puts in like a bullish divergence down here on the RSI. So let's just say this turns out to be our major bottom. All right, so we get this counter trend rally, we come down, we bounce off there, and then we get the major retracement, which could bring us all the way up here to 448, all the way up to 453. And that, if you just come over to the weekly time frame, would make perfect sense, considering you just fell flat off of this cliff for quite some time here. That is a $26 move down. Now, I'm going to scroll out here. Now, we will, obviously, in the weekly update that comes out tomorrow, we'll be taking a look at the weekly charts in more detail, but I'm just going to point out, these pullbacks, these larger scale pullbacks happen in your bull markets. That is a 6% drop right there. And then guess what? You went on to a new all-time high, and from there, you went up a whole another 6%. Right here, guys, we are pulled back almost 6%. And if you do pull back to that 431.50 level, you will pull back 6%. We could also point out right here, all right, you had a larger correction right there, 4%. Let's just look at what happened over here when you pulled back for COVID. You had a very large one. Guess what? You still ended up rallying on up and reaching a new all-time high. What happened over here on your recovery from COVID? Boom, 8% drop, guys. We can fall and still remain in this macro uptrend we got going on here, this larger scale weekly / monthly uptrend. Anybody who wants to say this was just a bear market rally, I want to just let you question your belief there. And guys, beliefs are the things that we don't question, and we should question them. So if you are still sitting there saying that this was a bear market rally and it's coming to the end, all right, let me just test that belief, and let me just point out, you continuously were moving down. You now have the exact opposite, and instead of these lower highs that are forming, you now have higher highs with the higher lows that were forming. So I'm just going to point out, if you still do think it's a bear market, sit there and question why you think it's still a bear market. Are you saying that just because it has to be, because of what's going on behind the scenes, or are you actually sitting there following the charts? I will point out, you do have this, high volume selling going on, but that is to be expected. All right, people are going to be panicking. So we are coming into a very objective level here, which we pointed out, if you do end up losing 443, the next level will be 438. And underneath there, it is very likely to take a trip down to 431.50. And guess what? We are very close to that level. And if we do come down to that level, it is just going to be a back test of the 2022 August high, which is right over here. That was a big level. You see a doji candlestick, a consolidation candlestick. What did we get right here? Break, retest. Is this just a larger break and retest? Are we going to come up here for a lower high? And what do we have going on here now? We have a head and shoulders formation. Anything can happen, guys. I'm not here to predict what's going to happen. What I am here to do is I am showing you guys the possibilities of what's going on. That is why we do these daily updates. We come here with all of the potential scenarios of what we could see play out. So we are prepared for these scenarios. And guess what? This was on the table the whole time. Now, did we think it was going to, come down here, bounce off there, and buy a lot of buyers were going to come in over there? Yeah, I thought at least we were going to get a dead cat bounce and move back up to test. Well, we did end up going to 451.55, but at the time I was watching the 452 level and we didn't see that. So, but regardless, this is the level we're watching on the upside, 451.55, but to first get past this level right here at 442 to 443, which is right here. So we're going to have to come back because this was a strong level right here. All right. So it's actually 444 to 443. That is what we're really paying attention to. But the low over here was in the 442. So that's why we're watching that. But it really is 443 to 444. That is the zone we're going to have to surpass in order to resume this, have a chance, I guess, at resuming the uptrend. I'm just pointing that out. Now, I am going to come over here to QQQ. And I am going to just show you one more time. This thing is very oversold. Let's just put a horizontal line on that level. What is going on right here? All right. December low. This is when you had an absolute massive crash take place very quickly over the span of a few weeks. Does this look similar to that? Yeah, I think it does look pretty similar to that. And now your RSI is in the same exact spot where you bottomed. This was your bottom day right here. And then what did you get over the following few sessions? You had a really large bounce there. You came back down. You formed a base here. Then what did you do? What is this right here? Lower high. That's why I say base. You changed your structure there. You started consolidating. And in that consolidation, you put in one of these. Put in that. You put in that. And then what happened here? Break and retest. All right. So, on this channel, guys, you will hear me saying break and retest quite a lot. That's the setup that I personally look for. All right. Most of my setups will 100% just be either break and retest or support plays or resistance. But that comes with the break and retest. So there's that. But the important part is that, hey, your RSI is in the same exact spot. And even if we do go lower, it's not going to be much lower before you put in a major bottom. So, pick your poison here, guys. Are we going to go a little lower and put in a major bottom and then there's going to be that, or are we going to start bouncing from here and just have, it could be a major bottom, but at least get a dead cat bounce. I don't know, but I do also want to come over here. This is the exact spot that we were telling you guys to watch in yesterday's video, saying I wouldn't be surprised to come down and get a reversal candlestick. Now, did we get a long wick over here? No, we did not. But you reversed exactly from the bottom of the zone. And where was the zone drawn? On the weekly time frame, right here at the top of this candlestick. That is where you are finding buyers stepping in right now. This was the break and retest that we were looking for with this arrow right here, guys. I didn't just draw this arrow. I drew this arrow on this week right here. And now it's right here. Now, I'm not saying just follow the arrow, but I am pointing out 7 months of consolidation in a bullish structure you put in. And why is it bullish? Because you put in your, you had this. All right. Guess what? Higher low, higher high, breakout. All right. That is what makes this bullish structure. That's why the inverse head and shoulders is bullish, because what it does is it initiates a trend change with the right shoulder. You have the left shoulder still in bear territory, all right? And then boom, you have the right shoulder. That is when bulls have proof that they're starting to step in. What do we also have? We have IWM. On the daily time frame, you have reached oversold. All right. Now, I did bring this up in yesterday's video, how all right, IWM's RSI, if we fall any lower, it's going to hit 30, just like all of these other ones. If we come down to the important levels, they're also going to be at 30. So that was something we were paying attention to. But as of today, you started getting I'm not going to say you have like a reversal candlestick going on here. You don't have any one of these. You don't have a hammer, which is something I would have liked to see. But you did get something pretty strong here. All right. You did have a full on. You were red to green, but I am going to point out SPY and QQ also went red to, and DIA. They all went red to green today, which is a very positive sign. That is what I was telling the Discord, that I wouldn't be surprised to see today. I wouldn't be surprised to see. I did think it would form with a reversal candlestick over today or in the coming trading sessions, but we did have a straight up buyers just were in control the whole day, and that's not something that we don't want to see. If you want upside, this was, I'm not going to say this is a signal candlestick, because again, you're looking for these hammer candlesticks, the bullish engulfing candlesticks, but you do have a Marabuzu candlestick going on here, which is not bad. All right. That is not bad. Now, next thing I'm going to point out, VIX, you do have a reversal candlestick going on over here. And what happened, guys? You see where this line is? All right. That's where your daily RSI was. And what did I point out earlier? All right, that was actually this morning. That's when I drew this line. You see the RSI came back down because we started cooling off here. You started getting bulls stepping in on the indices, on SPY, SPX specifically. That's what this is directly tied to. The options bought and sold over on SPX. But what have we been reminding you guys? If we see the RSI tick on up above 65 and towards 70, you are likely, unless you're crashing, all right, if you're crashing, you could get something like this where you just kind of stay up here for a few weeks and you're just, VIX is going to the absolute moon here. But I'm going to take a bet here and say we're not going to be crashing. And yeah, we are very likely towards a major bottom, a major low. So a major swing low, whatever you want to call it. I think we're right near it. I pointed that out in yesterday's video. I said, hey, if you continue lower, like a lot of people are turning bearish here, and I'm just going to point out, this is like, we have conditions that in the past have led to bottom. So I do think we're very close to a bottom. If not, we just saw our bottom, or we see, like I said, very close to bottom, and we see something like I pointed out at the beginning of the video where we get a counter trend and we come down, boom, what is that going to put in? Boom. All right. Maybe this thing starts coming up. Maybe it goes like, let me just draw out what I am personally like looking for. If we do see something like that, boom. What do you have there? Bullish divergence going on. That would be like, oh, momentum shifting. All right. And at the perfect level. So that would be really cool. Next thing I want to point out, Apple is so freaking close to its 171 level. I was hoping it would get up to there, but I will point out Apple was, pretty strong today. It was, leading the way. We did call it this head and shoulders formation over there and started losing there. Guess what? All right, buyers weren't stepping in over here. Next stop is 171. So we got pretty close to that level. And that's a common theme that I was showing you over here. SPY, it didn't get down to its level. It was very close, all right? It was within $2 of its level. And then guess what? Apple, again, within $1 of the level we were watching for. So I still think there probably is some more downside. I'm not going to, front on that one, but I am going to tell you, I do think we probably do get a bounce, all right? Or we go a little lower and then get a major bounce. So I personally like the 9:15 expiration for calls across the board. I am just going to tell you that. Now, what we just covered, I like calls on all of these. All right, specifically IWM, SPY, QQQ. Not too shabby. DIA, if you want a little bit of an illiquid option chain, like across the whole option chain, but you know, this is something we're calling out over here. This would be it looks sexy to me. This looks like a very sexy setup. I'm just going to point that one out. What do we also have? We have Google back testing, and it just slightly missed it. I mean, you did come down and hit this candlestick, so I mean, maybe it did back test and I got my level off. I got to hide this candlestick, but Goog back testing where it broke out from, still in this bull flag, could not break out, still in the bull flag, not looking bad. Apple almost down to that support. Microsoft bounced directly off of this support we were watching down here. If it broke, where was it? Broke up here. All right. The last support before no support was up here at 322.50. That is what we were paying attention to. You did end up going down there. You filled this gap. You got a little bit of buying yesterday, right at the close. And then guess what? You came down to the next support. And now what do we have? We have a hammer candlestick or a pin bar or whatever you want to refer to it. A bullish candlestick is going on over here on Microsoft. And then you come over here to Meta. Now, Meta also came down to its support and it has a hammer candlestick or pin bar or a bullish candlestick, whatever you want to call it. What do we have over here on Amazon? Same look as SPY and QQQ. All right. Bulls were just I know it's red, but it should be a green candlestick. Bulls were in control the full day. You still didn't come down and back test. We broke out from you back tested over here. All right, you couldn't hold it. What I was looking for is a gap fill, or you're going to back test this bullish structure going on right here, this pennant or bull flag, whatever you want to refer to it as. Not looking too shabby. All right, I'll put this one on your radar. All right, TSM came down, filled the gap. There you go. All right, you could start seeing a move back up to 94.50, and then after that, you could start seeing a move back up to 97. There's also that. Let's take a look at AMD. What's going on over here? Another, common theme here. We did not come down to support. I mean, we could have this level going on right here, and you actually did bounce perfectly. So I guess I'll keep that on my chart right here. So maybe you did, but I was looking for this support down over here. NVIDIA hammer candlestick on the day, like we pointed out in yesterday's video, underneath this level right here, underneath 434.06, which was the low of this one. Guess what? There's no support all the way down to, well, I mean, we have this support going on right here. All right. So that is, picture perfect. Did I short it? No. All right. But we call some things out here on the channel pretty often here. Not only the indices, we call some individual tickers out. But yeah, came right down to the support. And what do we also have? The common theme we were just talking about. All right. You have this pin bar or hammer candlestick, bullish candlestick. It's going on. Increasing volume as well. Now you do have earnings coming up, so I mean, throw this chart out the window after earnings. All right, anything could happen. Tesla, you came down to your next support, and you know what? I'll give you this one. All right, Bears, you're not seeing major buyers stepping on Tesla. So, but as I pointed out in yesterday's video, I do think, hey, all right, this would be a relatively good buying opportunity if you just want to start loading up for your long-term port. There's that, or data calls or whatever. Now, Bitcoin, that is what I really want to talk about in this video. So we will finish that off and try and keep this under 20 minutes here. Bitcoin, the daily RSI is down at a spot where you have seen this bottom right over here. All right, so you had your major crash going on over here, and somehow the RSI thinks we're having that amount of selling pressure. All right, so I'm just pointing that out. This was literally the day before you then had a 25% bounce over the following week. So I'm going to put that on your radar. You did break this trend line. All right. You did not necessarily come down to the next support, which is right here. So, down at 24.5K, 24.6K, around there. But I will put this on your radar. So this is what, your boy Henry took advantage of today. And I don't know if I'm definitely bottom fishing here. I can't say I'm not, but I am going to tell you guys right now. All right. You do have this daily RSI down at 26. And the last time you saw this was your major low right here before you went on an absolute tear. So, same with what I just showed you on Bitcoin. Riot, if you want to take advantage of it, all right, my friend tells me that Riot has a higher beta than Bitcoin. There's that, but yeah, I don't trade Bitcoin. So Riot, all right, that is what I would personally be using and am using to trade this Bitcoin dump and trying to bottom fish over here on Bitcoin. I'm just letting you guys know. you had that go on. You hit, you know, similar levels over here. What do you have? All right, you started getting these bounces. All right, did it take a while? Yeah. So, you know, I wouldn't say short dated options are the move here, but I am saying, hey, if you have a long term, you've been holding out on this market. I think you're getting a buying opportunity. Like I reiterated in yesterday's video, you're getting a buying opportunity across the board. So that's something I want to make very clear. I'll make it very clear in the weekly update as well. I think this is your longer term buying opportunity if you just missed out on all of this. I strongly believe that is going to be the case. I don't think you're just going to see a crash. You can't come all the way down here at 420, but you know, we're not going to even talk about that until you start losing 431 and yeah, 431.50. That's really what you got to lose. And then you got to lose 427. So, all right. With that being said, I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace.